All right, Chapter 1, problem number 18. We have a study appearing in the journal Science. A research team reports that plants in southern England are flowering earlier in the spring. Records of the first flowering dates for 385 species over a period of 47 years show that flowering has advanced an average of 15 days per decade, an indication of climate warming, according to authors. So the first thing we're going to look at is who are they collecting data on? And the who is actually an inanimate object this time, an experimental unit. It is these 385 species of flower. So the who is the flowers, 385 species of flowers. Now, next we'll look at what. What are they studying? How fast they're flowering, the date of the flowering. See, they're studying, they record the first flowering dates. That's what they're studying, is the flowering dates. So the what would be the date of flowering in days. So they found it's an average of 15 days. So they were like checking for how many days it was taking for them to flower. The when is not exactly specified, but we do know it was over 47 years. So we know it was a long study. We just don't know exactly when. It could have been a long time ago that they did this 47-year study. So that's all we know about the when. It's a period of 47 years was when. But not exactly. We don't know exactly when. Now, where? Do they say where they were doing this? Let's see. Southern England. There it is. The plants were in southern England. Because, plants might be different depending on where you are. How fast they're flowering would be different. Everything about the plants would be different depending on where you are. So that's southern England. The why? Now, why were they doing this? They were looking for an indication of climate warming. That's what they were looking for. I mean, they were looking for how fast the plants were flowering, but if the climate's warming, they're going to flower faster, right? So what they're actually looking for is the climate warming. So the why would be, the researchers believe that this indicates a warming of the climate. You could have just put climate warming if you wanted to shorten that. Now the how did they do this? I'm looking and they don't really say how they do it. All they're doing is just recording. They're just observing, right? Not specified. And they're just kind of observing, and that's really all they tell us. They don't give us any details about how they're doing this. Yeah, I'm guessing you have to read the paper to get more details on how they did it. The variables, there's only one. How fast was it flowering? The date of the first flowering. It's quantitative too. It's how many days. And that's pretty much all we have for this one. That's our W's, and we identified the variable as the date of flowering as a quantitative variable.